I was 21 at the time. I had moved to a small village for a temporary contract job at the local records office. It wasn't a place people chose unless they had to. One main road, scattered houses, a clinic, and a police post that closed after sunset. I rented a room above a general store owned by an elderly couple. They were polite, but they asked too many questions about where I came from and how long I planned to stay. My job was simple on paper: review and verify old death records. Names, dates, causes. Most of the files were routine. I worked alone most days. The villagers rarely spoke to me, but they always noticed me. Wherever I went, conversations stopped. About 2 weeks in, I noticed something strange in the records. One name kept appearing in the same file. Every time a date or detail was updated, the old entry had a line drawn through it, and the new information was written underneath by hand. The handwriting never changed. The man had been reported missing 6 months earlier. There was no body listed, no burial record, just repeated updates, as if someone was correcting a death that hadn't happened yet. I asked the senior clerk about it. He closed the file without looking at it and told me it had already been handled. Reopening it, he said, would create confusion. That was his exact wording. That evening, on my walk back from work, I passed the village cemetery. Near the far corner, I noticed fresh soil. No marker, no flowers, just a newly dug grave. The next morning, the missing man's file was gone from the cabinet. In its place was a new file. It had my name on it. The spelling was correct. My age was correct. There was no cause of death listed. The date field was still empty. I assumed it was a mistake. I took the file to the clerk and pointed it out. He didn't react. He told me the record would be completed soon and placed it back in the cabinet like it belonged there. That night, there was a knock at my door. The store below was closed and dark. When I opened the door, 2 men were standing there. I had seen them around the village before, but never spoken to them. They said there was an issue with my registration and that I needed to come with them to resolve it. They didn't take me to the office. They took me to the cemetery. The grave I had seen earlier now had a headstone. It had my name carved into it. No date, no message. Another man was packing soil at the edge of the grave. The coffin was already lowered. The lid hadn't been sealed. I asked who was inside. No one answered. I stepped closer and looked inside. It was empty. That's when I noticed the villagers behind me. Dozens of them, standing at a distance. Not surrounding me, just watching. No one spoke. No one reacted. One of the men said, "If you walk away now, the record won't be completed." That's when I ran. I didn't stop until I reached the main road. I flagged down the first truck that passed and begged the driver to take me out of the village. I didn't explain anything. I just said I needed to leave immediately. The next day, I returned with police from the nearest city. The grave was gone. There was no fresh soil, no headstone, no sign that anything had ever been there. At the records office, my file no longer existed. Neither did the missing man's. There were no correction marks, no revision notes, nothing to suggest either of us had ever been recorded.